first.
Okay.
Everybody's in a hurry.
Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Thank you for the place called Fairfield Bay. Let us make wise decisions tonight, doing things that are pleasing in thy sight. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, let the City Council meeting of July 13, 2026 come to order.
Roger Hooper,
Here.
Ruth Kratz, Sandra Crowder,
Here.
Richard Matthews.
Here.
Show that Bella and Patty are absent. And approval of the agenda.
Make a motion, we approve the agenda as published.
My second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Rules for public comment. Public commented is limited to 3 minutes per person at any one time. Public comment periods are not unlimited public forums. All public comments should be limited to agenda items of the City Council or other matters of concern to the city itself or otherwise made an issue by an elected official at the meeting. All right, now before we begin, I just want to make a few comments. There was a sad hit and run happened in Fairfield Bay. Someone's dog was run over in city limits. As a result, the dog passed away, and just want to tell people, please pay attention when you're driving. Put the police department in a very precarious situation having to deal with that, and if you have any information, talk to them. But on a brightening note, 4th of July was very successful in Fairfield Bay, and a lot of the people that were responsible for that are in the room. While the city does not collect revenue numbers on individual businesses, business owners across Fairfield Bay, especially restaurants, say they saw a lot of customers, and it was very good. And on a personal note, I had a special visitor that I invited to Fairfield Bay, just someone I met in Pocahontas. They had never been to Fairfield Bay before, and I told them about the campground, told them about Camp Spot. They went on Camp Spot, they reserved a spot, they came to Fairfield Bay, they enjoyed the fishing, it was the best experience they've had, and it's just one more touch, and I think that's something worth sharing. So, all right, that's all I have.
Awesome.
Okay, we got the minutes of the June 8th meeting.
I move we approve. Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Okay. The special meeting on June 29th.
Move we approve. Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Somebody go on and discuss. Somebody say something. I guess that's me with the financials. It's you. We got nothing on the screen.
Do you need to turn on?
Okay.
I know it's in the house.
Hey. You didn't call it.
Where's the room?
Huh?
There we go. That would help. All right. There we go.
Okay, General has a subtotal of 143,963. Street has 155,656. We have not received any money yet back from the bathroom and the thing. And I'm not sure when, because her deal is totally different. Bond, $1. Animal shelter, $10,152. PayPal, $23.93. I just made a deposit today of $600. So we're $620, yeah.
Cool.
And it was, Yeah, it's for the dock, yeah. Jail incarceration's 3981. Next. Fire department's 205, 548. They got their Act 833 money in, so to the tune of $18,000, so that's good. AMP's 46, and that's probably at 50 right now, because I made numerous deposits today, because I was waiting on deposit slips. Historic preservation, 1766. Franchise fee is 143, 953, and we received 14,000 from Petty Jean today. And the campsite is 51,370. The sales tax is everything's down right now, which this is actually for April. No, it'd be May. This is July. Oh yeah, June. Yeah, sorry. I was jumping the gun and thinking it's June or July already. So that's about it. Any questions?
Are those June numbers?
Yes.
June numbers?
Pardon me?
Did you just say they were April numbers?
No,
They're from
April money,
to
June
May to
report.
Right,
Okay.
right. Because the tax is 2 months behind. Anything else? Okay.
Be appropriate to move to approve.
Oh, yes. Yeah, they want to.
So moved.
But I believe you're next.
I was waiting to see.
All right.
Last time I called Jackie up and I was wrong. Okay, Roger Hooper, who's second?
I said.
Sandra Crowder, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I would love it if you would ask for all those opposed, just so we have a record that nobody had said.
Okay. Roll call.
No,
Richard?
just say no,
all those opposed.
Oh, opposed, okay. All those opposed?
Thank you. I'm sorry.
All right, Chamber of Commerce.
Mansfield slow tonight.
It says it's unplugged. I was like, it is plugged.
We have 3 new members from last month. The Superstar Toys and Comic Museum of International Toys and Action Figures. Paul Mitchell, thanks to Sandra. And Health Change Health and Mobility has joined. And this is basically, this lady would go into the home and help with mobility, also go into senior centers and help with mobility and things along that line. So she just travels around and does this. And her name is Samantha O'Neill. We had 1 ribbon cut in this last month, and that was with the toy and comics. And we had a great turnout for that. So everything's going wonderful in that direction. Our chamber banquet, we had quite a turnout. We sold out. And our guest speaker was John McIntosh. He talked about the past of Fairfield Bay. Seth talked about the present. And Jeff Standridge talked about 2035, which is our our future. And so with the combination of that, we moved into Volunteer of the Year was Joe Calloway. New Business of the Year was Crappy Jacks. Business of the Year was Halos. Nonprofit of the Year was Heart of the Bay. And then we recognized teachers from Westside, Clinton, and Shirley, and we did scholarships for Westside, Shirley, and Clinton also. So we are going to continue with those programs.
Would you tell them how it was chosen?
The Teacher of the Year was, okay. The volunteer, the nonprofit, the new business, and the business was chosen by the by our members, our peers, and our associate members. The Teacher of the Years was chosen by the students of their school, and the student scholarships were chosen by retired superintendents and principals in the area. We will do our second poker run on October the 17th. This will help with our scholarships. This will also go to the Animal Protection League because we're not doing the dog calendar this year. So they will get part of the proceeds at that point too. We are hoping to bring everybody in on Friday night, which will be a social dance. DeWin is arranging that. We're going to have pre-restoration on Friday night. We're also going to start with an obstacle course, which is a new thing for us. So we'll have obstacle course competition on Friday afternoon and Saturday morning, and then we will start our poker run at 10 o'clock on that Saturday. So we're hoping to be able to bring them in and spend more time in the bay at this poker run. Then we're moving into the Festival of Trees. It's going to be basically the same thing we've done in the past with the cookies and the soups and voting of the trees. The Christmas Village is where we have our members set up and vendors come in. The only thing that's going to be different is that we're going to try to have things throughout the day to keep our patriots here, keep our family members here. So I have Tommy Thompson that's going to come in and do board breaking, taekwondo. He's going to have some kids that's going to come in and do some demonstrations. Then, I guess I'll flip my page.
That's right.
I got it. Hollins, one of our new members, is going to do yoga demonstrations that day with some of hers. Heart Center is going to come in and do some silver sneakers to be able to show everybody what Silver Sneakers is about, and we're hoping that that will help their membership. We're going to have Miss Jackie is going to do a piano recital with some smaller kids. They're going to get to play on the baby grand, and so we're excited about that. And then we also got Santa Claus booked again. So we'll have activities, and then of course Nichols will have Onions with the Grinch during this time too. So we'll do all the bookings and have everything laid out so we can have a complete day, and we'll have the parade also on that day. So everything is going to be on December the 5th this time. I'm so used to reading off the TV. We will also be sponsoring Light Up the Bay again, which will run for approximately about 2 weeks. And then our New Year's party is going to be Boots, Pearls, and Diamonds, and it's a Western Ball is what we're calling it. So, any questions or comments?
Does it matter what color my cowboy hat is?
No, it does not.
Okay.
And right now, cowboys and cowboy boots and hats are really everywhere. That's why we went ahead and announced it, for people could start getting their outfits together.
There we go.
And we have Greg Ward and the Good Time Band. They're out of Morrilton, but recording contract out of Nashville that's coming in. So, and he's not been in the area. He's been in Mountain View about a month ago, but I know him personally, and he's coming and giving us a good deal to bring his recording. So we'll be releasing in the next couple of months some of his videos that were shot in Nashville. And so that way everybody can get an idea of what's going on. Okay?
Thank you. All right. Chief?
Police Department.
Evening, everybody. This will be pretty short. Next month I have more on it. It may have been announced previously, however, our local harp store held a fundraiser event, the proceeds of which will be awarded to the police department, I think up to $2,500. We don't know how much we will be getting yet, but we thank Harps for this effort, and it's my understanding that all the harp stores in the state participated in this kind of fundraiser for their local law enforcement agencies. And we have the legislative audit for the police department was completed with no findings. That makes the 4th audit to date with various state agencies that we've completed. And our stats are at 151 calls for service in June. 46 training hours, 6 citations, 42 traffic stops, 11 animal control calls, no animals captured in June, 36 warnings issued, 499 extra patrols, 4 accidents, 16 welfare checks, 25 written reports, 8 agency assists, 8 motorist assists, and we drove 5,657 miles.
How did it go with the July 4th? Everything went good?
Everything went
Campground,
pretty good.
everything was good?
People are anxious to hear about that, but our presentation is for the previous month, so.
Oh, yeah.
I'll wait till the next month to do that.
Sure.
Do you have any of the did you have any of the walkie-talkies?
but I do not, I never had one.
Can I mention something, though? I've heard nothing but positive about how it was handled at the campground and all that. Officers.
We have a pretty good method that we've established over the years to get through it. I noticed Dallas isn't here. I was gonna thank him. He stayed extra to help us with some traffic issues at the end of it. I was gonna tell him thanks here, but I'll have to call him, I guess. But, yeah, shout out to him for helping us with that area right there by the bathroom, because we were having to man the intersections and the exit points, and he helped us out with that. That's really good. But yeah, everything went pretty smooth, as far as I'm being told.
There you go.
Any questions?
I'm wondering, are we coming up for another, doesn't the state like 3 or 4 times a year have the extra things that we approve the bonuses on? Is one of those coming up?
I'm not following you.
think she-
Step program.
Step program.
We've been doing the STEP program.
Yeah, we do it. Whenever there's a mobilization, we do it. And
Yeah,
then-
I was just wondering if we've got one coming up.
I don't
'cause thought
remember,
it was 3 or
yeah, I
4
don't remember when the
times.
next one is. I'd have to
Okay.
check. They're kind of random when they start and end.
Okay.
But, I mean, they're pre-scheduled, but I don't remember when the next one is.
Okay.
I'm happy to say that the last time we came up to the September Labor Day, there was one for the 2 weeks beforehand. And all I can say is that statewide, it has helped in reducing traffic accidents during holidays.
I've not seen any kind of actual results from the effort, as far as the traffic goes or the effect it's had, but we've not seen those stats. Do you have a question, Matt?
Yeah, is there any training in the budget for the police officers to have animal control training?
In the budget?
In the budget or in the future, are they gonna have training in animal control?
We definitely can put that in there and look at it.
Something the city really needs
Yeah,
is animal control officers.
all right. Any more questions?
Thank you.
All right. Fire department.
Fire department.
Afternoon, everyone. Calls for service, we had a total of 57. 38 were medical, 7 were lift assist. We had 1 structure fire in Burton Ridge that we responded to. Public service was 7, 1 fire alarm. Motor vehicle accident, traffic control was 2, and we did have 1 water rescue. The same thing that we've been harping for years, have and will continue to collect food items for the area food banks. They can be dropped off at the Downey Holiday Complex building. We did get all 4 pumpers tested and they did pass, which was great. And Chief Paulson and the assistant chiefs held a meeting about a possible no-match grant with Firehouse Subs. And I'm not quite sure what that grant's for.
Not sandwiches.
Not sandwiches. As far as the fire marshal office, we conducted 2 structure fire investigations and 1 car fire investigation in the county. We did complete the annual fire prevention inspection for the Shirley School District with very positive results. Very happy with that. Performed 2 follow-up fire prevention inspections on local area businesses. And of course, this was made before the 4th of July, so we did participate in the 4th of July parade, and we assisted the police department during the 4th of July fireworks. And we continue to do monthly inspections, fire prevention inspections. Any questions? Nice and easy. See, it's going to go fast.
That's right. This is good. Thank you. All right.
Planning Commission accomplishments, regular meeting was not held. Issues, positions need to be filled are alternate 1, 2, and 3. Zoning Adjustment Board, no meeting held. Code Enforcement, 1 new home permit year-to-date and 3 certificate of occupancies were given. 66 building permits were issued for 2026, 7 special use permits year-to-date, 106 violations were issued, and 11 citations issued. The plans plan on reviewing our passenger vehicle parking ordinance with the City Council. All right, Parks and Rec started cutting grass and weed eating and picking up limbs in all of our areas. Campground, no major projects are happening at the camp hosts are continually doing campground cleanup and maintenance, and it looks amazing, by the way. And Amy, Commission.
No meeting in June.
All right, Beverly Ward, Conference Center.
Hey guys. Okay, I brought my cheat sheet this time. Okay, June, we were busy. I feel like I've left something out, but we were super busy. We had 4 corporate conferences with different companies. We had a ton of people. I think I counted around 500 or 600 people through the conference center through these groups in the month of June. And all of them were very well received, no issues with any of them. So that was good. We had Walleye, of course, and then we had the chamber banquet, which was beautiful. Teresa and her group done an outstanding job. If you didn't get to see it, we have pictures. We'll show you. And then we had 1 wedding rehearsal dinner. So that was good. That did come through Wedding Wire. That contact came through the Wedding Wire that Benny was signed up on. And then coming for July, we have Walleye. We have 2 company. They're actually working board meetings, so we always like those. Those are important decision makers that we have full attention when we have those. They're smaller groups, but very important. So we have 2 of those this month, and we're having the martial arts on Saturday. And so we're really excited about that. They're going to start setting the mat up on Friday, so everybody come out and check them out. And then for August, we have Walleye. We have 3 conference type meetings, and then we have Arkansas chess tournament is coming back in August as well, so we're excited to have them back for the 2nd time. The hotel room nights for June, we accounted for 394 nights connected to the conference center with 655 year-to-date. We had 4 site visits in June, and we have booked 2 of those, one for 2027 and one for later this fall. We're still trying to work out a date, but they are coming this fall. Then Operations Dallas and Kelsey got us some better lights under our drive-through, so that was becoming a safety issue, so we've got that fixed. And then the chamber, through their banquet, they have, each time they do something, they have a donation point, and we were in need of serving dishes and just different things for our conferences and the more wedding dinners and things like that that we're having. So they donated us 100 set of the charger plates, the napkins, the chair tie sashes. Seems like there was something else. The draping, the ceiling draping. So we are very thankful for that. That is, and they're all neutral colors that we can use for whatever occasion we have. So we thank the chamber tremendously for that donation. Our volunteer hours for June was 86, year-to-date 308, and it saved us around almost $1,300 in savings for labor this month for June for our volunteers. We appreciate them. They are hard workers and they work tirelessly with us, so we appreciate them. That's it.
All right, thank you. Roscoe P. Coltrane.
I don't know if Tammy wants to get up here and say anything, or we just want to look at it.
Okay.
She created it, she doesn't want to get up here and talk about it. Go ahead, you can just take it, Seth.
Oh, I can take it, of course, all right.
Existing funds, $5,982.98. Adoption dogs and cats, $400. APL, $3,000. Club, $500. Donations, $1,544.55. Total revenue, $11,427.53. Expenses are animal food, $152.97 was spent on that. Gas, $125. Veterinarian care, $216.09. Payroll, 2 full-time employees, $5,750. And total reoccurring expenses is $6,244.06. Revenue is $11,427.53. And expenses is $6,244.06. And revenue versus expenses, the net income is $5,183.47. Currently, they have 53 total dogs, 6 total cats, and have adopted 4 animals.
All right.
If you have questions, I can't answer them.
There's 53 dogs at the shelter right now?
Yes.
Wow.
We had 9 dogs brought in at one time from animal control because there was a lawsuit pending. The lady had gone out of town and trusted somebody to take care of her dogs. The person did not. One of those dogs hung it. There was 10 to begin with. One of them hung itself on the fence, which is when animal control, well, police were called. We didn't have animal control. But when the police were called and they brought 9 animals. We run them out as fast as we can, but unfortunately, most of the dogs that come in the shelter through the city are not reclaimed. So, yes.
So currently, there's 53,
There's-
not for the year, that's for the month.
That's for the month. That's how many are currently in the shelter at this moment. That shelter was built for 30 animals.
Yes.
It's a
That's
lot.
what I was
And
getting
so
at.
we've got 3 dogs in some, I mean, you're talking 3 by 6 runs. And some of those have 3 dogs in them because we do not have the space. And we try and leave the space for city. But unfortunately, we're so packed right now, we've got them in the front room. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and we run them out as fast as we can.
Oh,
We've
they
got a
are?
transport going on the 24th, which will take about 7 animals out of the shelter.
Are they all from Fairfield back?
Yes, the majority of them are.
That's a change. I appreciate that.
The majority of them are. Now, not all of them are. We do take in animals when we hear that they're in bad condition. But yes, the majority of them are from Fairfield Lake.
Thought a bunch came from,
Mountain View.
Mountain View, thank you.
Yes.
I always get my
That's okay.
mountains confused.
That's okay. Severely ill animals from Mountain View are transported down here because we have more people available.
Probably the best clarification that I've ever heard. Thank you.
Yes, but yeah, we do our best to take care of the animals, but unfortunately, we don't have volunteers. And prison inmates, death row inmates are allowed 1 hour of sunshine a day. My dogs don't get that. Over half my dogs do not ever see the sunshine. Nobody's willing to come walk the dogs. We got really good dogs. We don't have vicious dogs. We got really good dogs that would love to be walked.
So are you looking for volunteers? to come
We're
walk dogs?
always looking for volunteers. Come walk a dog. Take 30 minutes and just walk it down to the Oak Quarry and back. Sit in the front room, sit in the little dog room that we have, play with the dog for a few minutes. These dogs need attention.
They need
And-
homes.
Huh?
We need homes. People
need
need to
homes.
come adopt these dogs.
Yes. We have a St. Bernard, his name's Beethoven. He's been in our shelter for 8 months. And last month, I took my granddaughter, who's 3, because we needed to know if he was good with kids and cats. And I brought her, she played with them. We brought a cat out from our shelter, let him meet the cat. And now he's going to Connecticut on the 24th. To a home where there's a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, and they have a cat. So the more people come in and walk our dogs and socialize our dogs, the easier they are. Because people ask all the time, are they good cats, are they good kids? We need to know that. And we need people. Every time I say we need volunteers, everybody thinks I want them to scoop shit. I don't. Okay? I scoop shit, I don't care. I got a shower and a washing machine. Okay? But we do need people to come by. Let us know when you're coming. I'll pick you out the perfect dog to walk. But all these dogs need. The more we know about them, the easier they are to adopt. So anyway, I'll shut them down.
All right. Are you ready for me?
No, I want to order just.
New business, first thing, resolution for, of the City of Fairfield Bay, City Council. I don't know if that was.
Here you are, AJ.
I have no idea.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Fairfield Bay condemning a public nuisance at 334 Westwood Road, Lot 17, Block 3, Lakewood subdivision of the City of Fairfield Bay, Van Buren County, Arkansas, providing notice of condemnation of the structures at 334 Westwood Road as a result of the nuisance thereon and for other purposes, whereas the City of Fairfield Bay has notified the owners, tenants, and occupants of the real property located at 334 Westwood Road, Page M. Bland, more than 30 days prior to consideration of this resolution, that the property was subject to nuisance proceedings after sewer service was disconnected, and further would be subject to condemnation proceedings if the nuisance was not abated because the property is not habitable. And whereas the City of Fairfield Bay at its May 11th, 2026 regular meeting declared the structure a nuisance and provided notice that it would be condemned if the nuisance were not abated within 30 days of written notice, and whereas the City of Fairfield Bay has provided adequate written notice to the owner, tenants, occupants, spouses, and others, and whereas there has been no response from any owner, tenant, occupant, or spouse of the same for more than 30 days since delivery of appropriate written notice of the violations of the municipal code of the City of Fairfield Bay, declaration of nuisance and notice of potential condemnation. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, 1, that in accordance with the report made to the mayor by the building official as reported at the City Council meeting and in accordance with the written notices previously provided to the owners, tenants, occupants, and spouses thereof of 334 Westwood Road, Fairfield Bay, the real property at 334 Westwood Road, also known as part of Section 18, Township 11 North, Range 12 West, Lot number 17, Block 3, in the Lakewood subdivision, Subdivision 2, City of Fairfield Bay, Van Buren County, Arkansas, is found to have been a nuisance for more than 30 consecutive days, and which has become a safety hazard to the public, and which is additionally adversely and materially affecting the value of real property within the City of Fairfield Bay. 2, that the owners, tenants, occupants, and spouses thereof at 334 Westwood Road are incapable of timely abating the foregoing violations of the municipal code, notwithstanding the delivery of appropriate written notices at the real property and to the owners, tenants, occupants, and spouses thereof individually. It is therefore found, determined, and declared by the City Council of the City of Fairfield Bay that the real property located at 334 Westwood Road, including all improvements thereon, and specifically including any structures located on real property such as a mobile home, trailer, and other attached structures, is condemned as constituting a nuisance in accordance with Section 11.16.03 of the Municipal Code of the City of Fairfield Bay. 4, it is further ordered that any house, building, mobile home, trailer, and other attached structure may be torn down and removed to ensure the removal thereof is provided in Municipal Code Section 11.16.05. It is further ordered that a copy of this resolution be posted on the real property and delivered to the owners, tenants, and occupants, and any spouse of any owner, tenant, or occupant by regular first-class mail and by certified mail with a return receipt requested, and specifically delivered to Paige Michelle Bland, 1342 Cherry Hill Loop, Perryville, Arkansas, 72126-8724, and to Paige Bland, care of Teresa M. Craig, 1342 Cherry Hill Loop, Perryville, Arkansas, 72126, and to Paige M. Bland, 372 Westwood Road, Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, 72088. Separate notice shall also be addressed and delivered to the Arkansas Commissioner of State Land, the Honorable Tommy Land. Attention Real Estate Division, 500 Woodlane Avenue, Suite 109, Little Rock, Arkansas, 72201. The address for property certified from Legal Protect, State State of Arkansas, by both first class and by certified mail. Separate notices shall also be addressed to the owners, tenants, occupants, and spouse of owners, spouse of tenant, spouse of occupants, and must likewise be delivered to 334 Westwood Road by regular and first class mail and by certified mail. A true or certified copy of this resolution shall be included in all notices delivered pursuant to this paragraph. 6, A copy of this resolution will be inserted into the newspaper of general circulation in Van Buren County, Arkansas for at least 2 separate publication dates, assuming single publication per week. 7, that the house, building, mobile home, trailer, and other structures located on the road, on the real property located at 334 Westwood Road in Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, shall be torn down and removed by the building official of the city of Fairfield Bay upon this resolution of condemnation by the city council, unless the nuisance has been abated or the structures torn down and removed by the owner, tenants, occupants, or others interested in the real property within 30 days of the date of the first publication of this notice in the newspaper of general circulation in Van Buren County, and no sooner than 30 days after the date of this resolution, and no sooner than 30 days after the date of mailing the notices required herein above. 8, that the city of Fairfield Bay shall have a lien against the real property if the city has not any net loss resulting from the cost of abatement, destruction, or removal of any house, building, or structure, section 11.16.08 of the municipal code of the city of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas. Arkansas Code annotated section 1454.904, fine for nuisance. In accordance with the municipal code, section 11.16.09, each separate day the nuisance continues unabated shall constitute a separate offense for which the city may impose a fine of $250 per day in accordance with the municipal code. So be it resolved, passed and approved by the city council for the city of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas on this 13th day of July, 2026, at a regular meeting of the city council. It would be appropriate to move to approve the resolution as read.
I make that motion.
Second.
Discussion. No discussion. Anything from the audience? No discussion. Okay, since Richard's all by himself over there. Yes, no?
Yes.
Ruth? Sandra?
Yes.
And Roger?
Yes.
Okay, that will be 2026-32. Okay. Next.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas approving use of funds during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026 in accordance with the minimum balance requirement in the 2026 budget ordinance and for other purposes, whereas the City Council has had ongoing review of the city's expenditures during the current fiscal year, including compliance with the city's 2026 budget ordinance, whereas the City Council imposed a minimum balance requirement on the franchise fee account in order to protect the city's financial position and to maintain liquidity needed to make payroll and other necessary payments, and whereas the City Council's minimum balance requirement is meant to assist the council in understanding the cash flow needs of the city as it meets payment requirements for federal taxes, payroll, debt retirement, grants, utilities, and other necessities, and whereas the city has been undertaking a long-term capital improvement project pursuant to a grant, which requires prepayment of certain expenses, the Recorder Treasurer has been optimizing the city's use of funds to prepay construction costs and expenses which will be reimbursed by the grant funding entity, State of Arkansas, and so the Recorder Treasurer has used funds in the franchise tax account to help meet construction cost vendor deadlines while awaiting reimbursement from the state, resulting in a balance below the city's statutory notification limit. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, 1, that the City Council has reviewed the franchise fee account balances to date as part of its annual budgeting and has come to the realization that the city's financial condition requires some limitations on spending and recognition of cash flow requirements in order to protect the city's fiscal integrity based on experience in the current fiscal year. 2, notwithstanding the necessity of limiting city spending, including reductions in budgeted spending, the City Council is well aware of the Recorder Treasurer's efforts to make timely payments to the offenders, including payments made pending reimbursement for grants and other regular payments. 3, the City Council hereby approves, ratifies, and confirms the Recorder Treasurer's use of funds from the franchise fee account for the current fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026 to the date of this resolution. Although the Recorder Treasurer's use of funds from the franchise fee account has resulted in a franchise fee account balance triggering notification as required by the city's 2026 budget ordinance as amended, and as reported at the regular City Council meeting on June 8th, 2026. Grant reimbursements made to the city can be used to adjust account balances as the Recorder Treasurer shall decide in accordance with all fiscal requirements, guidelines, and recommendations from Arkansas legislative audit. So be it resolved and approved by the City Council for the City of Fairfield, Arkansas on this 13th day of July 2026 at a regular meeting of the City Council non-pro-tunc to May 1st, 2026. Be it appropriate to move to approve the resolution as read.
So moved. Second.
Discussion.
Is some of this grant coming from the improvements made in front of the bowling alley, the stage and all that stuff?
Yes.
Coming back into it. When do we expect to get that, or do we know?
That's a good question.
Yes, what, how
It
many?
was supposed to be like a 30-day turnaround, and it hasn't been.
Oh, really?
And I think it's because they have a different what they need. They need like the weather that day, how much, what crew worked, how many hours they worked, what they were paid, instead of just saying, we paid this person, that you have to do, you know, how many workers were there and how were they paid.
Who's keeping track of that?
So it's been the community club and Cheryl in Dallas.
Okay.
And there's been a little turnover in the community club right now, in the office, but,
Okay.
so that was a little bit of a, getting that figured out.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be all figured out. I keep trying to call Trey and tell him to get me, but they're supposed to be done on the 23rd.
Done with the bathrooms, 23rd of this month.
Yep, and it's the 23rd, yeah.
Stage is finished.
As far as I know, I mean, we just can't use it.
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
we can't use it until they release it and say that it's the project's done.
Right, but there's no more construction going on with the stage.
No, I
Yeah.
think it's just the restrooms
Just the
that
bathrooms at this point.
need finishing. So, I don't know. But I'm not sure when the money will come back in.
Okay.
But it should be
How many
pretty soon.
girls you got down there? 3?
I've only got 2.
2. April, May's.
I haven't done anything for June yet. I think we're kind of waiting to see what was that. And of course, they still have to pay the parking lot and the exit. So we'll have to wait for that bill too. Anything else? And over there, nobody's saying anything. Roger Hooper,
Yes.
Sandra Crowder,
Yes.
Ruth Crotts,
Yes.
Richard Mack.
Yes.
2026-33.
Next one, a resolution of the City Council for the City of Fairfield, Arkansas, authorizing the city to seek grant from White River Regional Solid Waste Management District for roll-off container for the Fairfield Bay's Hippie Recycling and Education Center for fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026, and for other purposes, whereas the City of Fairfield Bay has multiple needs for support at the Fairfield Bay Hippie Recycling and Education Center, and whereas the city has identified a potential source of funds from the White River Regional Solid Waste Management District, which requires matching funds from the city, as discussed at the recent City Council work session, and whereas the city's Recycling and Education Center is entirely staffed by volunteers who have provided extraordinary service to the city for decades. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council for the City of Fairfield, Arkansas, 1, the City Council finds and determines that the city may qualify for a grant from the White River Regional Solid Waste Management District for purchasing a roll-off container for the city's Hippie Recycling and Education Center. 2, the city has not budgeted for this purchase, but is always seeking to leverage funding for opportunities to help preserve its fiscal integrity, including seeking funds outside of the city on a donation or grant basis. 3, the City Council therefore approves the potential grant application for the White River Regional Solid Waste Management District with the understanding that this would be a grant requiring the city to match funds on a 75-25 basis, 75% by grant, 25% with city funds, requiring the city to allocate funds from another source for purchase of a roll-off container. For the purposes of this application, the city's projected maximum expenditure will be no greater than $2,000, assuming the roll-off container will not exceed a total purchase price including delivery of $8,000. 4, the mayor and the recorder treasurer be and they are hereby authorized to take any and all appropriate actions necessary to put this resolution into effect. For the calendar year ending December 31st, 2026, a separate resolution to amend the budget may be required if a grant is received. 5, the City Council also takes this opportunity to express its gratitude to the volunteers who selflessly staff this Hippie Recycle and Education Center and have done so for decades. So be it resolved and approved by the City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas on this 13th day of July, 2026 at a regular meeting of the City Council. It would again be appropriate to move to approve the resolution as read.
Make a motion.
Second.
Discussion?
Did we decide where that would come from? The 2,000? Does it matter?
Right now, it's in administration
Administration.
part of it. We got $1,000 budget there.
So just.
I don't know how much
Well, no,
we spent.
There's only like $300 left in there.
Yeah, I think he said he spent some of that. Right, too.
There's multitude of areas that could come from.
It actually could come from A&P if we wanted it to.
Yeah.
I
But
think
Do you think they'd be,
It's not critical in terms of where it comes from. It's kind of discretionary. as
it's
far as
discretionary. I
Okay.
mean, it's, more or less, it's a county-run facility, but it's for Fairfield Bay.
Yeah.
We budget just for minor maintenance items there, That's why there's a budget administration. But it well serves us, and we well serve them, because if I remember right, there's like 150 tons a year
Yeah.
that doesn't go to landfills because of that.
Especially now that they're doing glass.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
And
This
that's
is
the
what
heavy
glass is
thing.
for.
Yeah.
I mean, A&P could, they are
Yeah.
eligible to pay for that.
To do that.
So
Okay.
we could,
I think that'd be good.
I think we need to have a meeting.
Yeah.
So it would, the city can't budget requirement for A&P, but this resolution is for authorizing the application,
Okay.
indicating that we are agreeing that we would find the money someplace.
Yeah.
So if we have to find it at A&P, it takes a meeting of A&P and a vote of them, because they're not required by the
Yeah.
council. So
I'm
it would
just
take a vote of
curious
them.
as to what, if we were restricted to take it from a certain budget item.
No, not really.
Not really.
I mean, we could take it from the other, but it'd be nice if it came from A&P.
I mean, it's.
Just suggesting.
I think it's a good idea.
It
Yeah.
actually promotes.
It's a good,
And Paul used to always do little tours through there, through the glass part.
yeah.
And he still does. He just went with Steve and them to tour the scouts that came over and toured the recycling.
Yeah, he does a great job.
We can talk about the funding though at a separate, because it does require a separate
Yeah.
resolution,
Okay, okay.
if it's funded, so.
That's all the questions I have.
Okay, so that was the discussion. Okay. Sandra?
Yes.
Ruth?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes.
And Richard?
Yes.
That will be 2026-34.
Next one, a resolution of the City Council for the City of Fairfield, Arkansas, authorizing the city to use a reverse internet auction to dispose of certain dishes and other tabletop place settings previously in use at the Fairfield Bay Conference Center for fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026, and for other purposes, whereas the City of Fairfield Bay previously accepted the donation of the Fairfield Bay Conference Center, which is now operated as a city venue, and whereas the city has identified certain tabletop items in its inventory that date from the conference center while it was operated by Fairfield Communities Incorporated, and that were included in the donation made to the city, and whereas the city's conference center does not use those items and seeks to dispose of them through a reverse internet auction with the assistance of a local vendor. Now therefore be resolved by the City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas. 1, the City Council finds and determines that the Fairfield Bay Conference Center seeks to dispose of 3 different brands of place settings, all of which are light tan with dark brown trim and appear to be matching sets, in addition to some small punch cups, clear glass ashtrays, and 2 other drink dispensers. The council finds and concludes that a reverse internet auction is authorized by Arkansas law and is the appropriate means of disposing of these items, which might have some value historically or as memorabilia for a certain population. Further, the council finds and concludes that this type of auction with multiple place settings and different low-value items may best be conducted by an experienced local nonprofit vendor if one is available, as sales of individual items might be quite time-consuming for city employees who do not conduct reverse internet auctions on a regular basis. The Fairfield Bay Conference Center has identified those items it wishes to auction as follows. A, 196 complete sets, dinner plate, salad plate, dessert plate, coffee cup saucer, and coffee cup, tan with brown trim, manufactured by Syracuse, China, Buffalo by Oneida, and Cisco ware. B, 16 extra dinner plates with the same color and makes, 103 extra salad plates with same colors and makes, 240 extra dessert plates, don't ask me why, of the same colors and makes, 61 extra coffee cup saucers of the same colors and makes, 2 drink dispensers, 160 punch cups with no manufacturer identified, and multiple ashtrays in clear glass, and we don't have a specific number for that, something more than 76.
Yes. I'm still finding cases of ashtrays.
Cases of ashtrays. And of course, we all know that Fairfield Bay leads the way in the state of Arkansas prohibiting smoking indoors, so those ashtrays are completely and totally
Get them
useless,
out of
right?
here.
Do they say Fairfield Bay on?
They're like this big around, and they have the 3 little notches like where the cigarette lays. They're like the old style.
Why do we have so
restaurant.
many?
'Cause we
50
have
years, 50
So we
years,
had a lot of smokers years ago.
50 years ago, that was common, you smoked.
At the conference
Yeah.
center?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
That's showing my age, but 50 years ago, I remember coming over and it was, you smoked.
There's ashtrays at each table.
Yeah, sure was.
Interesting.
And I'm glad that stopped, you know.
As the parliamentarian,
Two or
I'll
three.
continue with the reading of the resolution.
All right.
The Fairfield Common Center is authorized to dispose of these items, especially the ashtrays, using a reverse internet auction as authorized by state law. 4, the Fairfield Bay Conference Center is authorized to enter into a written agreement with local nonprofit vendors such as Wear and Share to conduct the necessary reverse internet auctions as needed. Such written agreement shall provide for a commission as a percentage of gross proceeds not to exceed 15% of the gross sales proceeds. 5, the Fairfield Bay Conference Center and any local vendor shall provide a complete written statement of account to the recorder treasurer for the gross proceeds, any commission earned, and the costs or expenses of those auctions, if any, as well as the disposition of each category of items listed above. 6, the mayor and the recorder treasurer be and they are hereby authorized to take any and all appropriate actions necessary for this resolution to effect. For the calendar year ending December 31st, 2026, shall be resolved and approved by the City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas on this 13th day of July, 2026, at a regular meeting of the City Council. Be appropriate to move to approve the resolution as read.
I'll make a motion.
Ah,
Did
we could have
somebody say-
discussion.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear a second. I'm sorry, Ruth?
Ruth.
Okay, now we can have discussion.
What is a reverse?
Yeah, I looked that up. I was like, what is that, you know? Is there
Okay.
So, we're soliciting bids as opposed to bidding on something. So it is that we are seeking people to bid, we're asking people to bid as opposed to putting it in the newspaper or whatever. It's the same general concept, but it is not, we're not hiring somebody to do an auction for us. We're asking people to come and bid like we, and you know, it will be, nobody else will know what they're bidding, so.
Have we done this before?
So the fire department has done some. I want to say that the senior center may have done some. I don't remember whether the conference center has done any or not. I don't think the conference center has done any.
Has Wear and Share done them? Wear and Share's done them.
We sell through on eBay a lot.
Do we?
Probably.
Wear
Wear and
and
Share.
Share, Wear and Share
Wear and
does.
Share.
On our behalf?
Yeah,
Well,
no, just.
No, not on the
Share
city's
does.
back.
Okay, so when you say we, you're speaking as part of.
I'm part of Wear and Share.
Yeah, gotcha.
I shouldn't have said that.
That's
Wear
fine.
and Share does that on a regular basis.
So we, the city, can work with you,
Them.
Wear and Share.
Right.
Is Wear and Share aware of this?
Yes.
Wear and Share
Do
aware?
they know they have 3 cases of ashtrays? That's the
I don't
question.
think there's a market for that today, but heaven knows.
Well, they'll use it for something else, so.
We might tie those to some of the more, valuable.
Buy one, get one.
It might end up in that recycling container.
In the bin?
In the bin.
With all the glass, with all the glass. Okay, so that was discussion. Martin, anything? You're really quiet today, I just always looking at you.
I'm assuming that you're going to abstain, so Mayor, you're going to be required to vote on this one, okay?
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming he's going to abstain. I'm not looking at him, I'm just assuming.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with him.
Why?
Because I hold a position at Wear and Share.
You
I'm their
good?
treasurer.
Gotcha, okay, got it, okay.
Roger Hooper,
I abstain.
thank you. Sandra Crowder,
Yes.
Ruth Crotts,
Yes.
Richard Matthews,
Yes.
Seth Connell.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. What?
Yes.
Just checking.
Okay, that'll be 2026-35.
Next one
I
is,
want to point out one thing. We have a volunteer here that regularly works somewhere to Share too.
who's that?
Mr. Bailey.
Every Saturday.
So, so some people at Wear and Share might have said that we're going to get an awful lot of money. Some people are doubting Thomas's. I'm not sure where you fall, but you want to enlighten us with what you think is going to happen with all this valuable china?
It's gonna be wonderful.
No comment. I mean, basically,
You
it's,
sell the ashtrays as ski.
I will say
They're a little
this.
heavy, I think, to throw.
I will say this, that Saturdays is generally one of our heaviest days because the most people are off, so.
This last Saturday was slow for a change.
It was 4th of July?
No, 4th of July was off. We were off.
Yeah, so that was last Saturday.
An ordinance of the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, establishing the position of fire marshal for the City of Fairfield Bay, amending the municipal code, declaring an emergency, and for other purposes. Whereas the City of Fairfield Bay has had a fire marshal by administrative appointment of the chief of the Fairfield Bay Fire Department for a number of years, and whereas the chief of the fire department asks the city to create formally the position of fire marshal, provide requisite authorities, and establish requirements to hold the position, and whereas the state of Arkansas authorizes the establishment of a municipal fire marshal in cities of the first class, Arkansas Code annotated section 1453-112, and whereas the 2021 Arkansas State Fire Prevention Code requires every city to have a fire code official charged with the administration and enforcement of the Arkansas Fire Prevention Code, 2021 Arkansas State Fire Prevention Code, Volume 1, Fire Chapter 2, Section 201, and whereas the state of Arkansas also provides that certified fire departments and their firefighters shall have the authority to do all acts reasonably necessary to extinguish fires and protect life and property from fire. Arkansas Code annotated section 20-22-807, Act 837 of 1986. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas that 1. Findings and conclusions. The City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas hereby finds and concludes that the Fairfield Bay Fire Department and its chief request creation of a position of fire marshal for the City of Fairfield Bay to comply with the requirements of the 2021 Arkansas State Fire Prevention Code previously adopted by the City of Fairfield Bay. That creation of the position of fire marshal will enhance responsibility for detection and prevention of arson, enforcement of laws relating to arson and other burning, and enforcement of city and state fire prevention codes. This ordinance is meant to help ensure consistent enforcement, improve the city's ISO rating, its Insurance Service Office rating, sometimes also known as a Public Protection Classification Score, support economic development, increase professionalism in the fire department, and create a legally sufficient framework for enforcement efforts. The City Council finds and concludes that this ordinance is reasonably necessary to protect life and property from fire in the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas. 2. Office established. The City of Fairfield Bay hereby creates the position of Fire Marshal in the Fairfield Bay Fire Department. The Fairfield Bay Fire Marshal shall be the fire code official identified in the Arkansas State Fire Prevention Code for the City of Fairfield Bay. 2. Duties generally. The Fairfield Bay Fire Marshal shall be the person primarily responsible for the detection and prevention of arson, the enforcement of laws relating to arson and other burning, and enforcement of the city and state fire prevention codes as set forth herein. 4. Qualifications and requirements. In order to be appointed by the City of Fairfield Bay as its Fire Marshal, A, the Fairfield Bay Fire Marshal shall have successfully completed a course of study for law enforcement officers approved by the Arkansas Commission on Law Enforcement Standards and Training. B, the Fairfield Bay Fire Marshal shall have successfully completed an 80-hour course on fire and arson investigation offered by the National Fire Academy or the Arkansas Fire Training Academy or an equivalent course. C, the Fairfield Bay Fire Marshal shall have completed at least a 1-week fire safety inspection class offered by the National Fire Academy or the Arkansas Fire Training Academy or an equivalent class. 5, authority. The Fire Marshal is authorized and empowered and shall have authority to do any and all of the following among other authorities. A, enforce the Arkansas Fire Prevention Code. B, enforce the Fairfield Bay Municipal Code and any Fairfield Bay municipal ordinance, including and explicitly fire safety provisions of the municipal code and ordinances. C, conduct inspections of all regulated occupancies. D, review fire protection plans. E, issue notices of violations and orders to correct deficiencies and give timeframes for resolution of violations and deficiencies. F, issue stop work orders for unsafe conditions. G, administer fire safety permits and fees as authorized by state and municipal law. H, investigate fire origins and causes. I, maintain official inspection records. J, appoint subordinates to assist in carrying out these duties. 6, vacancy. During any period of vacancy of the Fairfield Bay Fire Marshal, the Chief of the Fairfield Bay Fire Department shall fulfill the duties of Fire Code official pursuant to the Arkansas State Fire Prevention Code, and further shall have all the authority set forth herein for the Fairfield Bay Fire Marshal. 7, appointment. The Chief of the Fairfield Bay Fire Department shall recommend to the Mayor someone to fill the position of Fire Marshal. The Mayor shall nominate someone to fill this position and submit the nominee to the City Council for its approval. The City Council shall appoint the City Fire Marshal by approving or disapproving any nominee by majority vote of the City Council at any regular or special meeting of the City Council. 8, term of office. The City Fire Marshal should be treated as an at-will employee of the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, subject to removal with or without cause at any time and with or without advance notice. The mayor shall have the power and authority to remove the fire marshal with or without cause, at any time, and with or without advance notice. The chief of the Fairfield Bay Fire Department shall have the power and authority to remove the fire marshal with or without cause, at any time, and with or without advance notice. The appointment of any police officer as the city fire marshal shall not change the terms of employment of any police officer who shall remain an employee at will, subject to the same terms and conditions of employment as any other police officer in the city of Fairfield Bay. A fire marshal shall not be treated as a department head under state law, nor under the municipal code and ordinances of the city of Fairfield Bay. A volunteer serving as fire marshal without pay shall be subject to the same terms and conditions set forth above, that is, as an at-will volunteer, removable at any time, with or without cause, and with or without advance notice. 9, municipal code amended. The municipal code of the city of Fairfield Bay be and is hereby amended by adding the foregoing paragraphs in accordance with the codifier's usual practice accordingly. 10, not to be codified. The person first appointed fire marshal in 2026 within the first 60 days after appointment by vote of the city council shall recommend an inspection and permitting program to the chief of the Fairfield Bay Fire Department, the mayor, and the city council, including recommendations to amend the municipal code and to enact additional ordinances necessary to put the program into effect, if any. 11, not to be codified, rate of pay. The rate of pay of any municipal employee who is appointed as fire marshal shall be set forth in the annual municipal budget for the city of Fairfield Bay as amended from time to time. The fire marshal may also serve as a volunteer. At the direction of the chief of the fire department and subject to the annual budget as amended from time to time, a volunteer serving as fire marshal may be eligible for a stipend in lieu of mileage reimbursement, such as that provided to the station managers for the fire department. 12, not to be codified emergency clause. Because of the potential danger to public peace, health, safety, and welfare that may result from the lack of sufficient authority for a city fire marshal, an emergency is hereby declared to exist. And this ordinance, being necessary for the peace, health, safety, and general welfare of the city and its citizens, it shall be in full force and effect on August 31st, 2026 at 11:59 p.m. local time and after that date. 13, not to be codified severability clause. If any provision of this ordinance or the application thereof to any person or circumstance is held invalid for any reason, such invalidity shall not affect other provisions or applications of this ordinance, which shall be given effect without the invalid provision or application, and to this end, the provisions of this ordinance are declared severable. Passed and ordained and approved by the City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas on this blank day blank 2026. It would be appropriate to move to approve first reading.
So moved. Second.
Discussion?
Couple questions.
But I hope you're listening to, so you might be able to answer these better than me.
Did you pull this from another city or just from how did you?
Great question. So I went and looked, and so there's, like it says in the intro, there's a specific statute that cities of the first class, which we are not,
Right.
can have a fire marshal.
Okay.
And so, how do I put this delicately? It looks like there might be a conflict in the code because the Arkansas State Fire Prevention Code, which has been enacted by statute and the city has adopted it, requires a fire code official. It does not say what that person's title should be, but the reality is it's a fire marshal.
Fire marshal.
So in the state fire prevention codes, it says every city shall have that official.
Yeah.
And we do not have one appointed, so the assumption is the fire chief is required to do it. That's the assumption.
Yeah.
So this is essentially saying, okay, you, state of Arkansas, you allow fire marshals in the city of the first class, you require fire code officials, and so what do we do to meet those two somewhat contrary issues? So what I did is I drafted an ordinance to do both, which included the police powers that are normally allowed. And after sitting down and talking it through with the fire chief, the police chief, and Mitch, we came to the conclusion that we pull out 6 police powers and leave it in as essentially a code enforcement person required specifically for fire enforcement, fire and arson enforcement. So we came to an agreement on the powers and duties. We came to an agreement that if we do it this way and put it into the municipal code, then in case any one of us is hit by a bus, that position goes on and the city knows and understands that it can and should fill that position, whether it's, and Mitch said it was without pay, and then AJ came through and said, but we might need to pay that person because they do an awful lot of work, and he's been very gracious to us. So I put in provisions to pay, but it is based on what happens in the budget. So in the budget, if you put in 0, it's 0, and there's no payment, so Mitch is right. But 5 years down the road, you don't have to change this ordinance.
Right.
And you could say, you know what, Mitch is retired, we need somebody else, and we're gonna have to pay him because this is really valuable service
Right.
to make sure that we don't have bad stuff happening in the city.
Yeah. So that answers my second question. At this point, it's not a paid position, which is what we talked about in the work session. But at some point down the road, if we decide we gotta pay this person because there's so much work involved, the city council at that point can choose to put it into the budget without having to go back and, thank you.
Yeah, so please blame me though, because I did not ask them, I just did it because I'm thinking, I have to draft for something that's gonna be more permanent than one person.
Right, but as of August 31st, 2026, it will be a non-paid position.
Correct. Yep. Essentially starting,
Yeah.
12 o'clock midnight on September 1st.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that answers my question, thank you.
Question. Do we, after the...
Feel free to chip in.
I'm listening. After the first read, don't we have to do it, this is the second read, by title only, and the third read, by title only?
We're gonna do that.
This closes ordinance.
Yes, you can do the other reads. My thinking process was, and having talked to the two chiefs and the fire marshal, I did not give people a lot of time to breathe about this. I thought that if we did the first read and that people got a sense of where the council was, and it was published, people could look and see if I made a mistake, if the fire chief or the police chief is upset or whatever, and they want an
So
adjustment.
we would do it in our August meeting.
Then we can do 2 reads for the next meeting. That's my
Right.
thinking.
All right.
It gives the city council time to digest the ordinance.
Okay.
And if you have any follow-up questions with the fire chief or myself, or with Chief Nicole, we're available to speak with you individually or as a group, whatever you guys like.
Yeah, just for example, if Patty goes berserk because I put in a paid position and she was promised that I wouldn't, you can all blame me and then we can take it out next meeting. How's that, when she's back?
So, this is appointed by the mayor, correct? What it says in here?
So great question. So this issue came up about the city attorney. So what I try to do is just the way they did with the city attorney, which is recommended by the fire chief. And then the mayor gets to choose who to recommend to the council, and then the council votes for the appointment. So the appointment is made by the council.
Right.
A little bit like the city attorney, not quite like a department head, but essentially that there's going to be some consensus that this is the person we want.
Do we have somebody in mind? You don't have to name any names, but are we going to fill this position as a, huh?
I don't have a clue.
Don't have a clue.
It gives him 30 days to think about it.
Market for this position,
All right.
advertise.
I'll follow that.
And then you can also, if you do pass it at the August meeting, it gives both the fire chief and the mayor a chance to have a name ready for you at that meeting, so you all kind of know what's expected.
Yeah, if we could, in anticipation, have a name ready.
I don't know anyone who'd be willing to
Don't know
serve for
anybody
free.
Lot of resumes.
Brag about it before it, after he signs. What are you doing?
I don't think that, so I don't know if you have public comment on that.
Any more discussion? Okay. Roll call is Richard Matthews,
Yes.
Ruth Cotts,
Yes.
Sandra Crowder,
Yes.
and Roger Hooper.
Yes.
That was just the first read. We will continue it.
Thank you.
Dan, I'll give you this for the paper. It's just a draft, though.
Okay.
Still has to be in the right font size.
Vicky, Vicky.
Times New Roman 12.
Did you write that down?
Cursive.
An ordinance of the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas authorizing the recorder treasurer to pay certain monthly expenses by automatic draft, declare an emergency, and for other purposes. Whereas the City of Fairfield Bay has had ongoing review of its budget and payment processes for a number of years, and whereas the recorder treasurer asked the city to authorize payment of municipal utility bills and the monthly bills for the city's lease maintenance agreements for photocopiers by automatic bank draft, now therefore be ordained. The City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, that one. Findings and conclusions. The City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas hereby finds and concludes that the city's payment of monthly utility bills and the monthly payment for the city's lease maintenance agreements for photocopiers are recurring payments regularly due within very tight timeframes and for amounts that vary from month to month as a result of variations in usage. Timely payment of these types of bills, utilities such as water, sewer, and electricity, as well as the lease maintenance agreement for the city's photocopiers is a necessity for the city, and further, that payment by mail may be too slow to avoid late payment penalties and interest for these monthly obligations. The request of the Recorder Treasurer is well founded. 2, authorization. The City of Fairfield Bay hereby authorizes the Recorder Treasurer to pay the city's utility bills and the city's regular bills for lease maintenance of the city's photocopiers by using an automatic drafting process with the city's bank. The Recorder Treasurer shall follow all requirements and recommendations of the Arkansas Legislative Auditor concerning these processes. 3, not to be codified in the municipal code. This authorization and this ordinance shall not be codified in the municipal code of the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas. The Recorder Treasurer shall report annually to the City Council Budget Committee or any successor committee, if any, during the budget process, whether there are any issues, concerns, or adjustments needed to this authorization for not to be codified emergency clause because of the potential danger to the public peace, health, safety, and welfare that may result from any delay in payment of certain regular monthly bills, including imposition of late charges and interest. An emergency is hereby declared to exist in this ordinance, being necessary for the peace, health, safety, and general welfare of the city and its citizens. It shall be in full force and effect immediately upon an act of its passage. 5, not to be codified severability clause. If any provision of this ordinance or the application thereof to any person or circumstance held invalid for any reason, such invalidity shall not affect other provisions or application of this ordinance, which shall be given effect without any invalid provision or application. And to this end, the provisions of this ordinance shall be declared severable. Passed, ordained, and approved by the City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas on this 13th day of July, 2026. It would be appropriate on this one to move to approve first read and move to second read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
There was some question
I was
about.
thinking it's a budget thing, so it does need 3 reads?
It needs 3
Okay.
reads, yep. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, it's-
And move to
it's-
the second read. Wait a minute.
There was some question earlier about whether or not what we're actually paying, so I think it's pretty clear that what you're paying, what you asked me. If you want to clarify, you're welcome to.
Just the fact that the club is now taking out, that we've always paid them, but the sewer and the garbage, they want $10 extra per month. And we have 3 different accounts that it comes out of. That'd be $30 a month
If we pay by check.
if we pay by check.
And I know you had to spend money on photocopiers.
Yeah, and the whole, they're a mess, they're a mess. And of course, we do electric, water, sewer, phone, they're already done with
Okay.
automatic draft, which I thought we had it, because I've been doing it for 10 years, but she said it would be fine to just do it now and add the copier in there,
Photocopy.
and the club. So,
And my suggestion is that when you review it with the budget, if you have issues or problems, or for example, if you've got a newly elected official, like a new mayor or a new recorder treasurer, or maybe new city council members who don't agree, it's always a good idea to have it come back up and vote on it again.
Yeah.
This ordinance does not put it into the municipal code, so and the reason is, it's not a permanent thing. It depends on whether it's working or not. And if the recorder treasurer says it ain't working anymore, or if the auditor says we ain't doing it anymore.
Yeah, but that's the way of life anymore.
Yes, sir.
Very well, utilities.
Good?
Okay.
Are you okay? Okay.
is that our discussion? Okay, then let's go with roll call. Ruth Crotts,
Yes.
Sandra Crowder,
Yes.
Roger Hooper,
Yes.
Richard Matthews.
Yes.
Okay, then we'll go to second reading.
An ordinance of the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, authorizing the recorder treasurer to pay certain monthly expenses by automatic draft, declare an emergency and for other purposes. It would be appropriate to approve second reading and move to third read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Okay, it was Roger and
Yes.
Sandra. And roll call is Richard Matthews,
Yes.
Ruth Crotts,
Yes.
Sandra Crowder, and Roger Hooper.
Yes.
Okay, third read.
An ordinance of the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, authorizing the recorder treasurer to pay certain monthly expenses by automatic draft, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. Appropriate to approve third read and to move to the reading of the emergency clause separately.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Okay. Roger Hooper,
Yes.
Sandra Crowder,
Yes.
Ruth Crotts,
Yes.
and Richard Matthews.
Yes.
Emergency clause?
Paragraph 4, page 2, not to be codified emergency clause because of the potential danger to public peace, health, safety, and welfare that may result from any delay in payment of certain regular monthly bills, including imposition of late charges and interest. An emergency is hereby declared to exist, and this ordinance being necessary for the peace, health, safety, and general welfare of the city and its citizens, it shall be in full force and effect immediately upon and after its passage. It would be appropriate to move to approve the emergency clause as read.
So moved.
Second.
Don't all jump in there at the last
Second.
minute. Sandra Crowder and Roger Hooper. And discussion, none. Roger Hooper,
Yes.
Sandra Crowder,
Yes.
Ruth Crotts,
Yes.
Richard Matthews.
Yes.
Okay, that's 2026-08.
Thank you, council.
That we are, through the first 6 months, we agreed to have quarterly budget meetings. We talked about it in the work session, that we would have it next Monday, a week from today at 4 o'clock. Pick up your paperwork out of your box. It's all ready for you.
Yeah, everybody's got their box, their stuff.
July the 20th, is that what you're telling me?
And if you have any questions, if you see something on there and you're
Right.
going, what the heck is this? Write it down or send me an email or something so I can look it up before the meeting.
Preferably before noon
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah, so I have a little chance to
4 o'clock.
get it together.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
And this is the
Budget,
paperwork
yes.
you given us.
And there's 25 and 26 in there. So you can compare what it was.
But you also have all of 25s, 26s in there, the far of the street.
Yeah, General
Yeah.
Fire Street.
That's it.
And it is two-sided, I'm sorry about that, but it
It's
was
okay. I'd rather have two sides.
just save paper.
Less paper.
Save half the paper.
Yeah.
Price of paper? Yeah.
That's all I had.
I believe,
Do you need to make sure we at least ask for public comment?
that's what I was just gonna ask for, but I thought maybe the mayor was coming back to, I don't know what happened there.
I'll do just a quick update on tornado shelter.
Okay,
We do have a signed MOU. As soon as the signs are up and the lock, and it'll right now be a manual lock, just a regular lockbox with a key until we do the fundraiser to get the electronic locks. But
will
we're
there
ready.
be like a sign out on the road
Mhm.
saying,
Which church are we talking about?
Methodist.
Methodist Church.
Yeah, I got signs, there's like a triangular sign that goes over the door, and then the road will have, I got enough to do double-sided with arrows that point towards
okay,
it.
okay.
And Dallas, well, the code enforcement officer has that. And so as soon as he and fire chief get together, and then the fire chief needs to go to Clinton to pull out whatever basic necessities we may need there. I don't think it'll be much, but things like flashlight, maybe some water.
Yeah.
I think probably if we could look at a couple pack and plays, it'd be a good thing, some blankets possibly. FEMA does have a list of stuff. I think it's a little too extensive, but we can kind of go through that and figure out what we need.
Could you just briefly go over, say, I'm sitting at home, the sirens go off.
I don't have any sirens.
Well, let's say I find
Yeah,
out
on your phone, it can
from
go off.
somebody, you know, that there's a tornado coming.
Mhm.
I head down to the Methodist Church.
Mhm.
I'm assuming the fire chief has already gone there? Or
Well,
who's gonna open the door?
Right now, it will take somebody from the fire department to manually go open that.
Open the door.
Now, we are working on having a fundraiser. The Lions Club, I've been working with them and they'll serve it. And actually, I've talked to Harps, they're willing to donate so we can have kind of cool, like a gourmet pancake party thing.
Sure.
And I also talked to a gentleman that I've worked with that is, I think we've got a chance that he's gonna donate some funds that we can buy the NOAA weather radios and make them available to people that need it. And so as soon as we have this pancake fundraiser, then we will purchase, I know the code enforcement office has researched, figured out what doorknob we need to buy, and then we subscribe to the service. I think since there's only one, it's only like $7 a month.
This is the electronic.
And it'll be electronic, and it will be able to be opened from the police station.
Remotely.
Remotely, yes.
Excellent.
So hopefully by September sometime, we'll have it all up. But we're pretty close to having it. If we had an emergency, the fire department could go and open it up right now. or within the next week.
So the fire department ultimately is responsible for opening up the...
Yeah, fire chief is.
Do you have any idea when this will be in effect?
Well, as soon as the two can get over there and get the locks on, we can announce it's available.
That's good.
As soon as we have the fundraiser and order that lock, August, maybe September, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We just need to get together and figure that out.
What's your goal on the fundraiser?
Well, we don't need a whole
Monetarily.
lot. I think the door lock and the monthly service, probably less than $1,000.
It's not that much.
No, it's not. We could probably do without it, but I felt like it's really good publicity.
I think so
Oh,
too.
and this, I just set this up. At the same time, we're going to have, I had talked to the fire department about coming and downloading weather apps, making sure they're working good. You know, if you have a VPN on your phone, you won't get the local weather apps. And so make sure that you're actually getting the apps. And then I've been pushing for the NOAA weather radios and stuff. And then hand out fire literature. Well, I talked to Blaze Thomas with Arkansas Weather Network, and he is thrilled to come and do that. So it'll be kind of a big promo that we can do. He's a little bit of a minor celebrity, and he actually is the one that has bought the weather radio on top of the cobblestone.
Yeah.
And so he is really excited to come and do that for us at this fundraiser.
Do you know anybody, say, in local radio that could, like, if there's a tornado going on, they could be like, hey, there's a...
Gee, do you know any radio stations?
Yeah, that would be able to, like, say, go to the Methodist church.
Yeah, when I was researching, and here again, the police chief probably needs to jump in on this, because on FEMA, it appears that they can go through this process, and all these digital signs that we have from the police station, they could put notifications on these digital signs, but it's going to take somebody taking a little initiative to figure out how to do that. But that's through FEMA, and so there's quite a bit through that FEMA site, but somebody just needs to take time and spend time with it. So that has been going on. Another quick update. Code enforcement and I have been working together. We got permission from the Corps of Engineers to put a little lending library out at the campground. Take a book, need a book, take a book. The library has agreed to supply the books for us, so when they run out, we'll just take more out there. And so they're going to build a box real similar to the one at the corner of the parking lot out here. It'll be just about like that, and I think we're going to probably put it at the bathhouse down in the campground on that outside. The other things, dock fundraiser, we're moving ahead, making a little progress.
The dock fundraiser?
Yeah. We've got 3 organizations, 2 firm commitments, 1 soft commitment, nothing in writing yet, but just verbal. That would come to about 12.5.
Okay.
We've had, deposit 600. I thought there was maybe a little more coming in. I think we're needing about 3,000 at this point to finish up with the dock.
Get there.
And we got time. I thought maybe 4th of July we'd have a little more response, and we didn't. But
well, the economy is really, nobody wants to spend any money.
Well, the alternative is it gets pulled out and condemned, and we don't have one. I mean, we don't have a choice. We have to get that dock in place.
Yeah, that's a critical piece of
So, but we've got a little bit of time. I'm going to continue to work with that. But those are kind of, the only other thing, I've got veggies over here if anybody wants. There was a couple of sauerkrauts, but they went right away. So.
Could I ask, so at the shelter, is the Methodist Church allowed pets, or shouldn't I ask, or?
Well, I tossed it out. I'm thinking maybe not. He was going to take it to the board. His gut reaction was no, but I do know that there's some real pet lovers on that board. So I've got to get with him and find out what the final decision was.
Yeah, well, you said it's up to the church to decide what to do with pets.
Right. So we just need to know if we advertise, you can take pets or not.
And a lot of times that decides whether or not a person goes or not.
Well, and that's what I did.
If I can't take my dog,
for
I'm
me
not coming,
personally, if I had to find shelter, and maybe I'm goofy, but for me personally, if I had to leave my dog, I wouldn't go.
Well, that's what I'm saying, a lot of people
I
won't.
just wouldn't. I would find someplace else. But there's still a lot of people that don't have dogs, so it's up to them, whatever
Yeah.
they decide. But we just need to wrap up a few things, but we're really, really close to getting it done on a manual basis.
That's good.
Any other public comment?
Anybody's name written down? Here you go.
Oh, what?
I've got one, and I'll work it tomorrow. I looked at the city ordinance, and I just passed it over to Ruth on the animal shelter. According to our city ordinance, 2016-08, section 11, maximum occupancy for the animals is 18 dogs, 12 cats, 3 litters of puppies, and 1 litter of cats. We got 53 dogs at the shelter. And the ordinance says that long-term animals shall be deemed unadoptable to make room for newer intakes after 60 days. So that's something that we need to look at. I'm looking at it as the fire marshal.
Taking on that book already?
Yeah, the fire marshal has the option to go in to make sure that the egresses are not in violation of the maximum occupancy load. But what concerned me is the statement that she made regarding having dogs in the office space.
I think she meant if you wanted to adopt a dog. She didn't mean that?
They're all over.
And then I also go and look at the Arkansas Department of Agriculture, who enforces the rules requiring shelters to maintain proper ventilation and enough room for the dogs to comfortably stand, turn around, and lie down. So this is something that we can't ignore. We've got to look at it. And I know that the city is funding part of the animal shelter, and it is city property, so we need to really be looking at it. So I'm just letting the city council know that tomorrow I'll go there and take an evaluation from a fire prevention side.
I'm just gonna pop in with she started talking about a matter that's under investigation, so I don't want to go into too much detail. But the question came to me about whether or not the 9 animals that were taken over there as part of a current investigation could be given back or adopted out. And the answer is no to both, which is a problem for all of us, and I get that. But that's where I am, which is we don't know who's supposed to be allowed to take those dogs. And we have to come to that conclusion within the next 30 days, I think, so.
Yeah.
I was gonna make mention that since we do keep stats on the animals that we do capture and take over there, I can give the council a number as far as a total between, from
First
how far
year,
back,
yeah.
first year to, which you guys have copies of my thing. You can go back and look.
It hasn't been 53 this year. has it?
No, I don't think so.
So they're coming from something else.
Right. I don't know how they intake animals outside of what we bring them. I don't know how that works with them. People just drop them off or what, and how many of those entail. But as far as how many we've taken them as animal control, I can get you that number.
The 9 was an oddity, usually
Right.
about 5 or
It's
6.
Absolutely an oddity, and it was because of a case that we.
Well, like last month it was 9.
Right, and well, right, June was none. But I don't believe we've incarcerated 50-something dogs.
So if we decide to enforce that, I mean, what are the options for the dogs? I mean,
Enforce what?
like the amount of dogs in the shelter.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. I mean, the city ordinances, it just stipulates you got 60
Right,
day window right there.
we're definitely overcrowded, we
Yeah.
just have to
Yeah,
decide.
I mean, definitely we want the animals to be adopted, but
that they're going to be packed in there like sardines
For months on
for
end.
months in. That's not fair to the
Sure,
animals
yeah.
either. So, you know, we've
She
got,
probably just needs to get more rescues where she ships them out. She needs to really work, I mean, if she's got, what did she say, 7 going, she needs to be doing that 3 or 4 times a month.
well,
You know, used to Landry's would occasionally sponsor adoption events. I mean, maybe if she lowered the fees and somebody sponsored the dogs, maybe they could actually get them adopted out.
That's not a bad idea. You might solicit some business to sponsor, sponsor.
Well,
an
and I
auction.
mean, her fees are,
What are,
I don't know, I didn't even look at it
What kind
today.
of
She
fees does
sent
she
it.
use?
well, her purebreds, I think she said 300, what, 100 for the others?
I didn't even look at it.
And I don't know.
I can tell you that we adopted a French Bulldog last year, and it was $500.
wow.
We've I've been kind of leaning on her to get us the adoption list
Yeah.
so it will be more uniform.
Yeah.
Because I have heard that there's a little bit of fluctuation. And she did tell me, we had quite a text back and forth one night, and I asked her, I said, wouldn't they move faster if you lowered those fees?
Well, the
I mean-
other side of that too is that they've come to the city council multiple times asking for additional monies. Well, I understand now, 53 dogs.
Which
you
we've
know?
not done.
Yeah. So,
But anyhow, I mean, I think maybe hopefully they'd be open to looking at some ideas to get those moved out. I'm not so sure with their policies that it won't fill right back up.
well, I will take a non-biased look at it tomorrow.
appreciate that.
From a safety standpoint, for the human occupancy and also for the welfare of the animals.
I just want to take a
But-
copy of
But
that.
I will take a look at that.
You might want to take a copy of that ordinance,
I have no problems with that.
just so she has it.
How many cages are out there?
Oh, Lordy, I don't know, was there 12 on each side, maybe 12, 24, 36, 48 maybe?
Then why is it got?
Maybe it's only
18?
10. I've actually never counted, because I gotta tell you, it kind of stinks when you go through your,
Then there's some back in the
there's,
back.
well, there's only 4 in the back, and there's
Well, that's for the
2,
police
you walk
officers.
down one walkway and there's cages on each, oh, there's only one side, this side doesn't have dogs. Maybe 30, I don't know.
I mean, 18 that
Mhm.
doesn't seem right, but.
It doesn't seem like very many dogs, we could, I mean.
That would be probably one per cage at 18.
Oh, we only have 18.
From a fire perspective, is the owner of the shelter required to release the animals?
If she's there.
I mean, I don't know what the law is.
The Arkansas Fire Prevention Codes just specifies
Humans?
for humans, but it also, when you talk about maximum space, we have to look at the egress of people getting out. So if there's dogs running loose in the shelter and so forth,
Yeah.
which can be trip hazards and so forth, I mean, it's just like us having this building right here and having the middle corridor blocked.
Yeah.
It's the same principle.
Can't
Same
do
thing with
that.
firefighters
Yeah.
getting in.
Yeah, same thing as firefighters getting in.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
she did mention, we're supposed to have a place for the dogs that the police bring in, but actually that is in the lease. They are required to keep space for.
And we have ran into issues where there was no space.
Yeah,
We
well,
had
she
to-
sounded like, oh, but
yeah.
it's just, but no, that lease does require that there is space available for city dogs at the police station.
And that brings me to, it's not really a question, it's just I'm wondering about the oversight as far as, what's concerning me is how many dogs in that shelter are Fairfield Bay dogs?
She
How
tried to
many
say
are not?
most of them are, but there can't be that many surrendering them.
Right,
You
I-
guys aren't taking that many in, and not that many people are surrendering them.
That's a number I'd like to know. I don't know if there's any oversight on that in the lease. I don't know, but I haven't read it.
We should have a number, so I think, Rose, you would be able to figure out how much she's asked us for reimbursement for each animal that comes in.
Well, that's what he's got
That's what
got
he's
that
got,
number.
yeah.
May I make a motion that the mayor works with the police chief and the fire marshal on this issue, come up with a plan?
Sure.
Because I think, you know, everything's got to be in the plan. We can't release them, but we got to have a plan, and we got to include.
A plan to get the number down from 53 to something.
We got to have a
manageable.
plan to establish it, what's going to be the minimum and so forth. So I would suggest that the next 2 weeks, y'all be to work together with a plan with the animal control shelter out there to try it.
And find out where the dogs are coming from, how many are.
Where the dogs are coming from and how are we gonna handle it? You just can't release 53 animals.
No, and that's not the intention, it's to verify and validate. And that's what
Verify,
we're-
validate, and come up with a plan.
Correct.
Well, you used to be able to go to PetSmart or one of those two and have something in front of there, but
I'm telling you, we're no different than any
Most
other.
shelters everywhere.
Most shelters everywhere.
I do know we've invited her to multiple events. I mean, everything that happens downtown, she's invited to bring some dogs. Because some of those cute little dogs, if they would bring them, they would get adopted. I don't know if it's.
your bigger dogs are most.
The bigger ones are gonna be fun, but she's got, or when I was out there last, which was quite a while ago, but there was a lot of little ones too. But those cute ones, if they would be out in the public, they would get adopted. And I don't know if it's lack of volunteers or manpower or what, but she hasn't shown up a whole lot with them, so.
Well, you know, you gotta understand that we're not the only city that's got this problem. It's overwhelming. I remember when there was a problem in the county, when I was county judge. It was a problem in Clinton. It is a problem. We just gotta come up with a plan and everybody knows what that plan is. It just, it's a problem United States wide.
Rose, do you know how many people have paid the reclaim fees to you to get their dog back?
No, not off the top of my head. Probably 8,
For the year?
yeah. But my dog licenses are up.
And
We're already at 67 and it's only July.
And we're doing the dog days in August again, so there should be more dog licenses then.
When in August?
First Saturday, the 8th.
What I would say is when we did that ordinance, my recollection was that there was a,
The 2016 ordinance.
yeah, 2016, that's right. When we did that, there was a very strong sense that we wanted to be a no-kill shelter, and yet we also want to be a safe shelter, and that was things were done commonly. So if the dogs were not adoptable, they had to be taken care of one way or another. And so they did, that was one of her methods, that was one of the previous director's methods of saying, hey, at a certain point, after 60 days, it's not working out.
Well, I don't know how long ago that would be.
So 10 years?
10 years, okay. So we got to come up evidently with a different plan and know how many animal shelters we got and how we're gonna handle it. Because what we got, evidently it's not working.
I will definitely look into it tomorrow, and then I'll report back to the mayor and the chief of police.
Yeah, y'all just work together and maybe in 2 weeks y'all can have, and get with Debbie and so forth.
And I
And
have
2
been
weeks will
working
probably
with
be
her on
work
some
session.
other
Work
terms.
session, yeah.
And she's very open to working. I mean, she does, yeah. She's very open to working with it when you bring it to her attention.
And I can sympathize with her, you know, when you're out there dealing with it and you look at these and they love them, that's the reason they do it. And you're not getting any help, then you start saying it's worth it, you know. So,
Well, I'm an animal lover and this is right next door.
yeah.
You know, so.
We all are.
We will take, we will,
Is Kayla volunteering right now to take
Yeah.
care of this for
No,
us?
no,
Oh, let's do it.
I'm not even bringing my
Let's don't
spouse's
name-
name up there.
No.
Fake fans are.
I think it's something that
me
the
doing
city's
that.
got to address, and Mayor, you're the head of the city, and we got the police chief, we got the fire marshal.
So there's motion pending. Is there a second?
Oh, I didn't know we were.
Yes, I'll second that.
A motion to make.
It was to come up with a plan to deal with this.
Okay, Roger, Ruth, discussion. You hear that? This is you.
I hear.
Okay.
Well,
Come up
I'm
with
here.
plan.
Well, I would say
And-
just deal with it.
Discussion,
Just deal
Oh.
with it. Don't take 6 months to.
Roger,
yes.
Ruth,
Yes.
Sandra,
Yes.